Hey everyone, welcome to an episode of Vacation Rewatch, where we watch things while we're on vacation. I'm Justin.
I'm Pablo.
Today we're going over episodes 16, 17, and 18 of Arrow Season 1. Right, Pablo?
That is correct.
We finished off with episode 15, continuing it on from here. Starting off with episode 16, we find out that Moira's people that she hired to kill Malcolm actually hires Deadshot, so Deadshot comes back, and it's pretty much about Oliver trying to save Malcolm from being killed by Deadshot. Pretty much, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much the episode.
Pablo, what do you think of this episode?
I thought this episode was okay. I really liked all the references that were thrown in because there was a good writer before this episode.
Jeff Johns wrote this episode. Yeah, lead to the guy who wrote Flashpoint to write a good episode. What a surprise.
So we're starting off with Arrow taking out the assassin who arrives by helicopter.
Yeah.
The police are on the chase.
He's definitely not going to be in the next episode.
Arrow definitely beats him to the punch, lays the guy out. And
takes his phone, too.
Yeah.
That was cool.
From there, we see Deadshot. He's in a bar. He's drunk because he doesn't have his eyesight because the Arrow put an arrow in his eye.
Yep.
Turns out we have new technology who will make you a better shot.
Even
so we finally
better.
see his regular comic eyepiece into play.
Eyepiece doesn't have the headpiece at all?
Yeah. It's a eyepiece. So we see his comic counterpart eyepiece in this episode. And I thought that was really cool. And I liked how it also looked. Very Terminator style.
It did look Terminator style.
But aside from that, the flashback showed us some great things, like Oliver using his smarts and fixing a radio to try to contact to the mainland.
Suck it with Slade. He's not that useless after all.
Read the Odyssey, knows his mechanics.
Okay, first of all, how many people can remember the Odyssey quotes that well like he can?
Only one person.
Oliver Queen.
He also knows how to fix radios, so if you're looking for someone.
Oh, man.
And
I almost said, does he work at Radio Shack? Well, that would have been really bad, huh?
So, from there, we also see the flashbacks finally paying off, and we see what the big plan is. There are anti-air missiles.
Oh,
what are they used for? We don't know yet, but we do know that they are plenty of them. There's at least 9, I believe.
Okay.
I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me on that number.
Pause it and count? Come on, Pablo. What kind of fan are you?
We finally find out that they have anti-air missiles for something big that could possibly start a war, as Slade mentions multiple times.
Oh, yeah, he does. Yeah, they're going to start a war.
But that's just some of the stuff I like. Justin, what are some stuff you enjoyed about this episode?
I liked when they're doing like the final scene, like to finally shoot Malcolm. All the hitmen that Moira hires, like they're going after Malcolm. Arrow takes out like 4 of them to get Malcolm and Tommy out of the way. And then Malcolm even takes out 2 guys. Those fight scenes are really good, really well done. Another thing I liked was when Malcolm finally does get shot by Deadshot. Oliver shows up in the nick of time there and telling him like, oh, he smells the poison that Floyd uses, and Tommy's got to help him, or else he's going to die. Or Tommy's going to let him help him, or else Malcolm's going to die. Tommy doesn't want to. So Oliver has to do the one thing that superheroes aren't supposed to do, but they do all the time, reveal his secret identity. Pablo, did you like that?
It didn't really make sense for Tommy to still be upset. I mean, at that point, you have your father who's dying in front of you.
You really don't like him.
And it's pretty... But still, it was pretty much like, if you don't let me do anything, he's going to die. If I were Arrow, I wouldn't have even shown him my identity. I just would have walked out. All right. I mean, his death, it's on you. I tried helping you out. And you're still being a dick.
He could have brought up the whole thing of like, if you don't let me help you, then this death, your father's death is on your hands because of it.
Mm-hmm. There were other ways, I think, to go around it.
Yeah, it just...
I think they needed to have something to go forward, and this was kind of the only way to do it. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but, I mean, whatever's. What can you expect after they showed the Dark Archer being Malcolm in the same episode? And then they don't even mention it until this episode again.
And then they showed his hood in this episode.
Yeah. You see, it just, I don't know. I think it just was put to move the plot forward.
Another thing I was going to say, I liked the Chinese diner scene. When he knocks out that big dude, sprays that sauce on the guy's eye, and he's like, did you get a look at him? No, but with that dialect, he had to be Chinese. No way he could.
It was perfect Chinese.
That perfect Chinese accent. He did not have a perfect Chinese accent. You could hear the American in him. And that's pretty much it for episode 16. We really have nothing that we didn't like about this episode, right? Everything was really good.
Yeah, even Diggle finding out at the end that Deadshot is still alive takes a toll. You see, puts him in an angry mood, or at least he tries to compose himself. But I thought it was great foreshadowing for future episodes. Like, what is Diggle going to have to do to deal with this?
And from one good episode to something that's not as good. Pablo, episode 17. Break it down.
So episode 17 is the return of the Huntress. She comes back to Starling City to look for her father, trying to still kill him, and at the same time trying to recruit Oliver to help her in her crusade.
I don't think she's trying to. She's forcefully making...
Well, she tries at first. She goes in with the
Okay.
intention of trying.
Okay, I'll give you that.
But let's start off with the flashbacks in this episode, which were really good. I really liked how Slade takes out a whole army.
By himself.
Oliver pretty much says, I found this guy walking around. Everyone says, oh, it's Slade. You killed some of my friends. Oh, I'm about to kill some more.
That was cool.
Boom, boom, boom. Takes out at least 8 guys. Right?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. It was like 4 in front of him, 2 behind, 3 behind. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That's one of the things I enjoyed about this episode. But Justin, let's hear some of your thoughts.
One of the things I liked was how Helena was able to manipulate Oliver. She uses Tommy against him. Like, she gets him like in an arm hold and like throws him on the table. And basically, like, it does show like, yeah, this is why Oliver has a secret identity. Like, Tommy shouldn't be mad about this, because then people like Huntress can use that against Tommy.
And I think he kind of noticed that. He's kind of like,
He realizes that.
yeah, he like shakes his head or something at the end of it.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really learn his lesson, I would say.
Okay.
We'll get into it later.
I agree with that. So yeah, I liked how she was able to use him. Even she uses Felicity against him later on. And also that when she gets caught, I like that she didn't give up Oliver. I was really surprised she didn't. I don't remember her not doing that. What do you think?
I really liked it. Like, even though she knows she's got all this stuff and can destroy Oliver if she really wanted to, she kind of sees him as this person who's still trying to help her find her way, find the right way. And I think she kind of, at least if she doesn't say it or show it, there's some mutual respect there for not giving him up.
Did you like that he went back to save her?
I did, because it made sense. It wasn't just like, he's not going to half-ass a mission, right?
That's true.
His whole thing was everyone gets out on my team, and he showed it. He went out. He didn't have to, but then again, it was also, he doesn't know if she's going to tell the
That's
identity.
what I figured.
So it was kind of like,
It's better her out of jail
I
than in
have
jail.
to.
Yeah.
I kind of have to, but it seemed like he would have done it either way.
Pablo, were you happy to see Huntress back?
You know what? I like the character. Just I don't think that the actress was that good.
Yeah, I agree with that.
However, does she return later?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I like the idea of it, and
Well,
maybe
having the Huntress on the show.
having a Huntress, and I also like that they went for someone that wasn't that known. I don't think if she's that known, right?
No.
I like that route. It just, I can forgive the bad acting.
Does that count as your dislike? Because that's what I was kind of.
That is a dislike. Just I like the idea of it. I wish it would have be done a little better, made a little more. What's the word I'm looking for?
Better acting.
No, I'll just cut it at that.
All right.
I like the idea of it. It just I wish it was a little bit better on the acting, but other than that, it's not really a big hit to the episode. It's just this episode really wasn't about anything. It was in the middle of Oliver and the undertaking and everything that's happening, and then this got thrown in. It kind of felt like we went the other way.
I mean, his girlfriend got killed off, written
We
off?
do have that. I would have liked it if it would have played out at the end of the season, maybe having to reveal his identity to her, other than just, oh, we're writing her off. She's going to live in Coast City. Coast?
Yeah. You know who lives in Coast City, Pablo?
Cool.
And brightest day and darkest night.
Coast?
Yeah.
Then where does Aqualad live?
In the ocean?
I thought that was Coast City. It makes sense. It's called Coast City for a reason. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But anyway, that was pretty much this episode. It was pretty much, not the greatest. What are your final thoughts?
Yeah, not the best. I was ready for this episode to be done when the girlfriend gets shot. Do you even know her name?
McKenna Hall.
Ah, you do know it.
But that wraps up episode 17. Going on to episode 18. Justin, why don't you tell us a little about it?
So we have the Starling City Vigilante, as Pablo wants to call it, even though I think that's the hood's name. He's
gone on to being the Hood.
so we can use his name now. Cool, perfect.
Well, I've been using Arrow. I mean, I don't.
So it's this guy who lives in the Glades, who's getting back at people who were, I guess, like there's like a DA and a judge who weren't being fair, he felt, to people in the Glades. And he was murdering them live for everyone to see on television. Pablo, what'd you think of this episode?
This really reminded me of the Dark Knight, the Joker scenes with the camera.
The Joker vlogs.
Not only that, you also had, there was a scene where Diggle says, it's the middle of the day, or something to that extent, shadowing what was in the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Oh, you're taking, what does he say? Whatever.
The Joker?
No, what does Alfred tell Batman? Whatever. But it was pretty much the same scene. Like, it's the middle of the day. It's not very...
The Batmobile at this time of the hour?
Yeah,
It's not very
it's not very
discreet.
subtle. So it just very
Oh yeah, it is subtle, not very subtle. So, or he goes, "Should I get the Batport ready for you?" And he says, "The Batmobile at this time of day, Alfred." Not very subtle. Lamborghini then, much more subtle. Is that the part you're talking about?
Yeah, that's the part I'm talking about. But anyway, it's very strong homage to that, I would say.
I feel the same way too. Even like the way that was just like that weird like janky curtain that he has in the background, like the fabric. Yeah, I agree with that.
That was one thing about this episode that I enjoyed. What about you, Justin?
I loved Oliver's parkour scenes. When he's like looking, he's like, he's at this building, go, and he's like, Felicity, I've been through every building in here. I don't no one here. Oh, he's down the block. All right, and he's like, parkour. He's like, it's like, wouldn't it have been faster just to run down and then run down the street? But no, all the rest of parkour from building to building to building. And then how do you get down? He goes on the fire escape, jumps on a. That was pretty awesome, but man, it got me tired just watching that. And then later in the scene, not only do we get that parkour, we get Roy's parkour scenes.
We get Flippin' Roy.
Flippin' Roy. Because Theo's getting kidnapped, and Roy says, how can I save her? With parkour.
Do you like that? This doesn't really make sense. Roy and Thea have seen each other 3 times, maybe?
Twice.
Maybe that.
The guy once told me twice.
And it's been weeks between, it hasn't really been.
Has it?
I'm pretty sure. Was he in the last episode? I don't think so. And the episode before that? I don't think so. So it's been at least 2 episodes.
So 2 weeks of Pablo's math. I mean, I feel like their relationship is being very rushed. I don't like that he doesn't like needles. Because we know the otherwise, don't we, folks?
I do.
But yeah, I just feel it's rushed. And then speaking of this vigilante who's killing people on the, well, we'll learn later what is the subway. When he's live streaming his murders, Felicity actually feels really distraught, and like she's like, "Wow, like I could have saved this guy. I kind of feel his murder's on me. I didn't help him." And like she even says, like, if I had someone to go home to and tell him about my day, I don't know how I would tell someone, like how to explain this to someone. That was pretty real because like people don't know how they're gonna react in front of death a lot.
If only she could somehow disarm 100 nukes with an iPad. If only she was that smart.
If only her brain was 3 years older, and like in season 4, and do that. And then one thing I didn't like about this episode was the Sarah storylines going on, where like Laurel's mom comes back and is like telling her dad and Laurel like, Sarah's out there, and they do all their research, and then Laurel's like, nope, just some chick. I met her. Here she is. Did you like that?
I like the idea that they were planting the idea that Sarah might still be alive. However, I thought it could have been done in a lot better way, other than just this whole. It seemed kind of weird, this whole B story.
Yeah, it seemed out of place.
The first time I saw it, I think I enjoyed it a lot more. Going back on it, it didn't make too much sense.
Is it because we know she's alive? Spoilers.
I don't think it's that. I just think it's too on the nose. Maybe if it were more like hidden, subtle hints here and there, like that would have been better.
I don't like the mom knows that she went with Oliver. That makes it worse.
I mean, that was, I guess, in a standalone thing that should have been more impactful. That scene.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it was just too rushed. We don't know who this mom is. She's been here in an episode.
We've seen her twice. We've seen her as many times as Thea's seen Roy.
Exactly. So the question is, how could we have not fallen for her character, but Thea and Roy have fallen for each other in the same amount of time? It doesn't make sense.
Models.
It doesn't make sense.
And Pablo, to wrap up the episode, tell us what happened.
So at the end of the episode, we go back to the flashbacks. We see that Oliver and Slade have the chip hidden somewhere on the island, and they are trying to negotiate a way off the island.
Hidden very poorly on the island, I will say.
Turns out they're going to go make their deal. And what happens? They get double crossed. Who could have seen it coming? Almost anyone. But
anybody who's watching this show.
So they bring out Yao Fei's daughter, Shadow. And what's the guy's name? Fries.
Whatever. The bad guy on the island.
The bad guy on the island pretty much says, I know that you're a good person, so now you have to choose. I'm either going to kill her or you turn over the board to us. Daring escape. And that's it.
Riveting, no. Pablo. Riveting.
So there's a daring escape. They escape, but not without Yao Fei getting shot. So now we have Shadow, Slade, and Oliver escaping by the orders of Yao Fei to leave him alone. And that pretty much... They return to go see what happened to the chip. It's all been a trap. It's been bamboozled. They're out of a chip. What are they going to do now?
It's been bamboozled. So at least they have Yao Fei's daughter?
Well, she knows moves. She knows how to protect herself.
More than Oliver does. And she knows what they're trying to do on the island.
So that's a big plus. And we'll round up this episode with Oliver finally reaching out to Laurel saying he doesn't want to be on the island anymore. Justin, what are your thoughts on that?
It was
ending
beautiful
scene?
the way he said it. I'm tired of being on an island. Beautiful. That's all I have to say.
This pretty much wraps up Vacation Rewatch. Thank you guys for watching. This has been episode 16, 17, and 18. Justin, what was your favorite out of these three?
The one written by Jeff Johns, 16. Hello.
16 easily.
Easily.
What about you guys? Let us know in the comments down below what you guys thought your favorite batch this turn was.
Your favorite batch this turn was?
I don't know where I was going, and I was hoping I could catch up. But let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. What episode did you guys enjoy the most out of these three?
Yeah, let Pablo know. Apparently, it's the only person on this show who cares about them.
I actually read the comments. Haven't been any, so I haven't been reading. But when you guys comment, I will.
Michael, give Pablo something to do. Write something. Moi, you too.
Also, don't forget to follow us over at Screenophiles on Instagram.
Why would they, Pablo?
Well, we're almost coming back, and we're gonna start our new segment on DC news. Probably,
no, but not rumors, right?
I don't know. I mean, that's
up to the Pablo quote.
We
don't comment on rumors
on this show. That's up to the person who's running the news and rumors segment.
Oh God.